Are you ready to discover a new field that could be an interesting step in your development? Hi, my name is Simon Becker. For the past 10 years, I've gone from the first steps in trading to a calm and structured approach to market analysis. And now I'm sharing what I myself would have liked to hear in the beginning. If I could go back 10 years, I would recommend learning by doing to myself. If you've been thinking about trading but didn't know where to start, maybe my trading community will be helpful to you. Every day I show every action I take on the air and explain my decisions in simple language. We also discuss market principles, share approach to analysis, and how decision making works, all in simple language, step by step. I share my experience, examples, and the logic I use myself to help participants from their own view of the market, without overload and guesswork. If you feel that now is a good time to dive into the topic, follow the link in the pinned comment and join my team. I'll be glad to see you in the community. Now let's start practicing. Sometimes it's just more convenient for me to sit at the laptop. And sometimes I'm lying on a couch, pick up my phone and do the same thing. It doesn't matter where I work from. What matters is that it's calm, clear, and nothing is distracting. Today I decided not to complicate things. Everything I need is at hand and I jump in and observe how the situation unfolds. I open the screen. I see everything's moving downwards, slowly but steadily. No sharp spikes, no panic, just smooth movement in one direction. That kind of behavior seems logical. I decide not to interfere and simply follow the same direction. When something is moving calmly and consistently, sometimes the best thing is not to argue but to go with it. At first there was a quick push upward, everything looked sudden, then it felt like a pause, as if the momentum had faded a bit. I keep watching and now I see a new move starting again in the same direction. I decide to join, but without rushing, now that things are a bit clearer. Sometimes you just need to wait. Fast is not always right. When there is a confirmation, it's easier to step in. The situation on the screen is developing steadily, everything is moving in one direction without sharp deviations. I see the behavior holding, like someone is guiding the movement with a steady pace. No panic, no jumps. It's exactly the kind of case where you can just go with the flow. Stability is rare. When it appears, it can serve as a solid reference point. There was a downward movement recently, but now it's going up again. After a short pause, I join in. When behavior repeats itself, it can be a sign that everything is following a familiar pattern. What do you think? Before we continue, let's pause for a moment. If you watched up to this point, it means you're interested in understanding the topic of trading. That's already a serious step, because most of the time we put it off. Later, not now, not my thing. But you are here, and that means that's important for you not to know the terms, but to understand the essence, to feel how the market works and not to follow this path alone. That's why I've created a learning trading community. Here you can move at your own pace, get feedback, and most importantly, not be alone. I attend the club in person, comment on participants' questions, explain approach, and share what works for me. This is not an educational course. It's a space where you can ask questions and get an answer, where you're not afraid to make a mistake. We discuss real situations, share our logic, and learn to notice what's important. Everything without overload in a lively pace. If this approach is your kind of thing, the link is in the pinned comment. Check out how it works, and if you feel like getting involved, you're welcome. I'm gonna show you one of the basic principles that we often start with beginners, and we continue. The situation is moving back and forth within the range. Now I see it rising. I follow in the same direction. Even in a calm moment, you can find an entry point if you simply observe. Earlier, everything was going up. Now I see the direction gradually shifting. I open in the new direction carefully without rushing. When something stops, often something else begins. The key is not to miss it. The upward move has stopped and a new direction is forming. I see things smoothing out and starting to shift. I join in. If things quiet down and change course, better not to guess, but calmly adjust. The behavior remained steady with no sharp spikes, then there was a push downward, and now to return to a familiar zone. I open in the opposite direction. When everything returns to something you've seen before, that can be a signal to act. At first I tried to move up, but it didn't seem to work. It came back down. I jump in where the behavior has become more stable. If something doesn't go the way it wanted and comes back, that's also useful information. Everything I do is observation. I watch how the screen behaves. I don't make things up, I don't guess, I don't try to predict. I simply respond to what I see. Sometimes that means up, sometimes down, sometimes just wait. This approach brings calm and the understanding that it's not about winning, but about paying attention. What do you think? You don't have to know everything in advance to begin to understand a new topic. Sometimes all it takes is interest and a space to observe, ask, and draw conclusions. I invite you to my learning community where trading is seen as a thinking process. We don't give you ready-made solutions, but how you can approach the market from an analytical point of view. Everything's in an accessible language, no overloading with terms, no pressure. The format is suitable for those who want to understand, not to repeat other people's ideas. I'm in touch with the community, answering questions and sharing what helps me myself. Everything is set up so that even the beginner feels confident. The link is in the pinned comment. Go check it out. Maybe this format will work for you. See you soon.